I'ma treat you like in my last cigarette. 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 I'ma treat you like
Hope it don't end the
in my last
same
cigarette.
way. About to start another day.
I'ma treat you
I'm a
in
freedom,
my
baby.
last cigarette.
About to start another day. Hope it don't end the same way. About to start another day. Hope it don't end the same way. About to start another day.
I'ma treat you
I'm a freedom,
in
baby.
my last cigarette.
About to start another day.
I'ma treat you
I'm a freedom,
in
baby.
my last cigarette.
About to start another day.
I'ma treat you in my last cigarette. 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 I'ma treat you
Hope it don't end the
in my last
same
cigarette.
way. About to start another day.
I'ma treat you
I'm a freedom,
in
baby.
my last cigarette.
About to start another day. Hope it don't end the same way. About to start another day. Hope it don't end the same way. About to start another day.
I'ma treat you
I'm a freedom,
in
baby.
my last cigarette.
About to start another day.
I'ma treat you
I'm a freedom,
in
baby.
my last cigarette.
About to start another day.
I'ma treat you in my last cigarette. 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 I'ma treat you
Hope it don't end the
in my last
same
cigarette.
way. About to start another day.
I'ma treat you
I'm a freedom,
in
baby.
my last cigarette.
About to start another day. Hope it don't end the same way. About to start another day.
Hey, what is going on? Man, it's hot
Another day.
than a motherfucker out here. God
Last cigarette.
damn. It's hotter than Satan's toenail. God damn. It's hotter than a motherfucker out here. Man, I was having a conversation today about what I said. I forgot I said that shit. I'm about to bring that shit up again. Man, it's hot as fuck out here in Las Vegas. And if one more motherfucker that go to this church, talking about, yeah, well, you know it's a place much hotter than this. Man, if you don't get your motherfucking ass away from me with that shit,
Hope it don't end the
fuck out of here, nigga. Man, you already know what the fuck is going on, but I'm sorry, man. It's hot than a motherfucker out here. God damn, make a nigga want to just take all his clothes off and walk around. I'm talking about outside, not inside, motherfucker. God damn, it's hot than a motherfucker.
about to start
It's hot, and you got to deal with COVID-19? What kind of shit is that?
same way.
But it don't matter, though. Shout out to all my niggas that's out there still trying to fuck a bitch. I know y'all out there doing it, nigga. This nigga's right now talking about, yeah, man, I just called this bitch. And this bitch, she's still trying to fuck, though. And what she say? Yeah, man, she just got out the hospital for COVID-19. Damn, for real? But shit, fuck it, nigga. I ain't gotta kiss that bitch. What that mouth do, though? Niggas don't give a fuck. Niggas will fuck without a doubt. Man, so shout out to them suck ass niggas out there putting their life on the line for some pussy hole. And shout out to all motherfuckers that gotta work in a hot ass sun, man. It's hot than a motherfucker out here, man. For real, I ain't finna lie. I mean, the shit is just, it's almost depressing how hot it is, man. Fucked up out here. So shout out to all you motherfuckers that gotta do construction and be, man, just being that hot ass sun is fucked up. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to all these finessing ass niggas too. And these begging motherfuckers. Man, if I see one more fucking panhandling bum stand on the corner begging for some goddamn money but he got a cell phone, nigga, what you begging for money for? So you can pay your cell phone bill? Fuck fuck out of here, nigga.
My last cigarette. I'ma treat you like.
So shout out to motherfuckers that's on that shit.
In my last cigarette.
And shout out to all you motherfuckers that's, you know, understand what the corporate plantation is about. Oh my God, because y'all know what it is. So shout out to all y'all that's got to work the 2 and 3 jobs. Like I said, I can't stand a motherfucker that be like, man, why you work 2 jobs, nigga? Because I'm broke, nigga. So shout out to them motherfuckers. And again, shout out to all the finessing motherfuckers that's finessing right now as we speak. Like I said, nigga, the finessing won't work with me. My mother was a 33-degree Mason in finessing. So not happening over here, nigga. That's a fact. And shout out to all my hardworking motherfuckers that's at the corporate plantation right now dealing with the clown-ass racism, white supremacy, and anti-black racism. Shout out to all y'all, because I know this shit is not easy. Very, very difficult. Can't say what you want, do what you want. I get it. I do the same thing. Just go there, do your job, get the fuck out of there. Facts. Hey, man, and shout out to everybody that's been watching this debacle. Oh, y'all, I'm about to get into it right now. But I just had to say, shout out to all my women that's out there that's auctioning off that pussy hole. Let me get $45, yeah, yeah. So, to the next sucker. Cause you know some sucker niggas that's gonna buy some pussy right now. And shout out to niggas that don't think that they buying pussy, but they take a bitch to go to the movies, they pay for her dinner, they pick her up, and then you fuck. Nigga, you just paid for pussy, nigga. So shout out to all these niggas that be like, man, I don't never pay for no pussy. Nigga, you're paying. Nigga, if you're taking her shopping and doing like my nigga Pierre in the wash. Oh, baby, what you want? Wop. Shout out to them niggas too. Go watch the movie The Wash. That shit is funny. So shout out to y'all niggas. Hey. Man. I don't even want to talk about this shit. But I guess I have to, man. And, man. Let's just get into it. Nick. And just anti-black racism. I think we really need to understand how it works. And we need to understand exactly how it works. And the reason why I'm saying we need to understand how it works, because I think people think because the white Jewish community claim themselves as Jews or whatever they want to claim themselves as, which is fine with me, that they are somehow absolved of, you know, being anti-black, you know, and I don't even know what to say, man. I'm so disappointed. I really am. I'm disappointed on a lot of fronts. I'm disappointed because I don't know the ins and outs of the Nick Cannon situation and what's going on behind the scenes. Shout out to Puffy, too. You know, a lot of people may not agree with Puff, may not agree with his tactics and shit, but he did extend that offer to get Nick Cannon over there to revolt and stand with him. Whether it was a business move or not, it doesn't matter. He came to the aid of another black person being under the gun and being attacked. The issue that I have with those situations is for you to disassociate yourself with the podcast, delete it, take it down. My thing was, did you not do the research on Professor Griff and understand that he's balls to the wall and he's not, nigga, this is what he do. See, I think this should wake everybody up that's black and say, black celebrities are no better than we are. They just got more toys and more money. But they are a slave just like we are. And the reason why I say that is because it's no diss to Nick Cannon, but the Jewish people that are in charge are white. These are white Jewish people. So, no, they're not going to agree with what you're saying about the white Jewish community. No, they're not. But what I'm saying is when you sit down with your fellow brother or sister and you are beholden to the dominant society and you have a major platform where people are watching you, you have to be mindful of what you're doing. Because now, just like Deshaun Jackson, you have to walk back your statements. And you have to walk back everything you're saying. Now, I don't know the financials. I'm pretty sure Nick Cannon is set, and he is employing a lot of black folks. And they are like, you know, but you've been in business with Viacom too long to not understand what's going on. And the reason why I say that is because let's get into it. The Jewish community, the white Jewish community, they are always on code. At the helm of this is Sumner Redstone, a part of the Jewish community, the white Jewish community. I don't know what you've been, I have, like I said, I don't know the details of Nick Cannon's relationship with Viacom. But if we just do the history on what they have done to black people, I'm talking about anti-black racism, systematic racism, white supremacy. If we just go through the history of the books that we have read, why did you not understand that having Professor Griff on there was going to draw controversy, taking pictures with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, doing all those things? Why would you not think they would come after you having Professor Griff on there, knowing what they did to him and knowing the history? Now, whether he knew the history or not, that's fine. The thing that I'm saying is walking back the statements and basically blatantly saying, I can see if you say, I'm sorry to the white Jewish community of what me and Professor Griff talked about offended you. But these are the books that I got this from. You show black labor, white wealth. As Dr. Claude Anderson talks about the white Jewish community, it talks about the dominant society and how they've transferred the wealth. They learned how to use our black labor to transfer it into wealth and hold it for their own. I would have just held up those books. You get Dr. Francis Welsing's book, The ISIS Papers. You hold those books up and say, this is where I got this information from. So, before there's any issues or any problems, this is where I got this information from. So if this offends anyone, I'm willing to have a dialogue, and you can come on my platform and you can defend what we are saying with your books and your facts. That's how you do it. Now, I'm not saying that I know better than Nick, because I've never been in that situation. But what I am saying is, when you have to walk back the statements, denounce the Professor Griff, who is a known OG in this game, and then what they do is they pick apart what he says, and Professor Griff, who got kicked out of the group Public Enemy for making anti-Semitic comments. But then when you listen to what they're saying, what was so anti-Semitic? They didn't use a racial slur or a term to call them the Jews. What they talking about, well, we're the real, Semitic people. We're the real Hebrews. We're the real Jews. Whatever. But they can't point out anything that he said that was anti-Semitic, like I said before, because it wasn't nothing he said. It's just, I'm white and I say so, like Tariq Nasheed always says. It's true. And I wish they would have had this much vitriol towards the killer of fucking Eric Gardner and Philando Castile and Mike Brown and George Floyd and, Tatiana Jefferson. Man, I wish they would have had the same vitriol, but they're not. And we got to understand that just because you do business with these people don't mean they like you, and that doesn't mean that they're going to watch who you associate yourself with, and they're going to watch what you say. And that's why when Nick Cannon was like, well, how am I able to move around? Well, because you're safe. And you haven't really said anything to threaten their power structure. In my personal opinion, I think it would have been better if you'd have put the books where he got the knowledge from instead of just running his mouth. And the reason why I said that, I agree with Nick, and I don't think he was running his mouth, but what I am saying is, to them, you're just running your mouth because you don't have the books to back it up. Now, they have always feared Professor Griff. That's why they pressured Public Enemy and Chuck D to get him out of that group. I really didn't appreciate how they did the BET Awards and had fucking Chuck D and Flavor Flav's ass on there, but no Professor Griff. Come on, man. Y'all not looking at why there's a reason why they will cast out certain people? Like Farrakhan. Oh, he's evil. He's an evil bad guy. Why do y'all think they have framed this picture and and created this imagery and this false narrative around the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan that he's evil. Why would he be evil all of a sudden? If he's evil, then give us the books that are opposite of what he's saying that's really telling the truth. That's why on Twitter, when motherfuckers was like, oh, well, that's anti-Semitic, all I said was the white Jewish community participated in the transatlantic slave trade. There's books that state that. Black Labor, White Wealth, if I'm not mistaken. The Secret Relationship Between Jews and Blacks, 1 and 2. Like, I just don't understand that. And then there's other books like Henry Ford. I have the book, The International Jew. Protocols to the Elders of Zion, Benjamin Friedman. There's so many other books and stuff out there, but you got to mention those resources because to them, you just babble. And that's what they go with. And then the apology comes and it's like, wow. And I was disappointed, and it was hurtful and disappointing to watch him kind of like walk back the statements and, oh, I apologize, and I want to sit with my Jewish rabbis, and what I said was wrong. And it's like, Nick. But I get it. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on personally, but I'll tell y'all this. Now y'all gonna understand when I say they are just like us, and they work on the corporate plantations, and they are slaves just like we are. These people, stop believing in black celebrity that they are gonna stand up against this. The system of racism, white supremacy is an institution. It's a team sport. So shout out to Puffy for using the powernomics and saying, you can come over here and we got your back. And that's what you're supposed to do. Why are we waiting for white people to have Nick Cannon's back? No. And I did see on Twitter a lot of black people like, Nick, you're not lying. This book says this and this book says that. But I think we put so much hope in black celebrityism, but we don't know the financials, what's going on. We don't know the contracts. Apparently, Viacom is big bank because for them to be like, you're fired, and then put out a statement, and then now he's like, well, I demand an apology, and then after that, oh, well, I apologize and all that. So that lets me know that big bank takes little bank, which should teach all of us that when you do get on a major platform and you start getting followers and people fuck with you, you better, if you are really about native black empowerment and fighting anti-black racism, you better put money to the side and understand what you're dealing with. This is a wicked system that does not give a fuck about black folk, and they want you to coon, sample, and buck dance. And when you apologize, it's almost like working at the corporate plantation. It's like being at the corporate plantation and saying some shit out of line, and then you gotta walk back them statements, or they gonna fire you. In most cases, they're gonna do what Viacom did. No, I don't like what you said, you out of here. And we're gonna muddy up the waters and dirty up your name. And you gotta understand, he's got Fox, he's got other things, and I get it, I understand. But that should teach us in a lot of ways about how we financially need to fucking handle our business. That should teach us. And you like, why, Warren, that should teach us? And the reason why I'm saying that should teach us, because for Nick Cannon to have to walk back those statements, that should let us know you can't walk around there talking about you a boss and all this other stuff. Sorry, but you can't. The real bosses that already spoke. And I think, in my honest opinion, that it's not going to change with most black celebrities. They're going to conform and bend the knee and acquiesce to what the fuck the people that are in charge is telling them, especially if they're paying you. And it's no diss, but y'all need to understand that. Stop glorifying these black celebrities. Stop treating them like, yeah, they go hard. No, they don't. Look at Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Yeah, Kareem got 40,000 points, but Kareem buck dancing for them motherfuckers too. Come on, Kareem. And calling Cube anti-Semitic and all that because you got Jewish friends. If they really knew their history and really knew, in my personal opinion, if they really read and really read it, and not just reading their history of what their Jewish rabbis is telling them. But if they started researching both sides, they would be like, well, I can understand that. If I was black, I'd feel the same way too. But it's such a code of ethics among the white Jewish community, they'll never go against their own. That's why Chelsea Handler, she reposted some shit of what Farrakhan said. Because she believed that in her heart. But she knows that the team is bigger than her personal feelings about black folk. So guess what she did? She deleted it and apologized about it. And that's what, and when we as black folk understand that, you gotta have the Steven Jackson mentality. You either for us or fuck you. So nobody defending Cube, fuck them. Nobody defending Nick, think about it. Where's all these activists at that's defending Nick? Where the activists that's like, wait, hold on. The history books have taught us this, this, and this. So why y'all firing him for that? But as Tariq Nasheed says, you got the fucking, matter of fact, what did he said, notice they fired Nick Cannon over anti-Semitic words or whatever, hateful speech. But what did he say that was hateful? Because I watched the whole fucking interview too. He didn't say nothing that was hateful. But Dog the Bounty Hunter could be on the phone secretly recorded calling his son's wife a nigger bitch and nigger, and I don't want that nigger around, and nigger. They still got him on TV. That's anti-black. They still got him on TV. Dog the Bounty Hunter killed a fucking black man, him and his good old boy hillbilly friend, anti-black racist friend, killed a black man, and he got off basically. They don't talk about that shit. But you still see Dog the Bounty Hunter on TV. Mel Gibson talked hella shit about the Jewish community. But Mel Gibson's still in Hollywood making movies. So trust and believe you me. They know who we are. And they know that we're powerful. And they know we're probably the biggest consumers to their bullshit products. So they don't want a whole bunch of people awakening from a sleep. Then they're going to have a real problem on their hands. So let's just make an example out of this nigga so nobody else comes behind him. And that's why ain't no black celebrity came out in defense of Nick Cannon. None. Everybody has just sat there and watched him. Because we don't have a fucking code. Because we have spineless, useless, Sambo, tell him about the gunline boss, Steven from Django, fucking coons. That's in black Hollywood. They don't give a fuck about nobody but themselves. And that's why, me personally, when you get to the corporate plantation, that's why I move the way I move. And I don't try to be friendly with niggas, because niggas will treat you all fucked up. I've dealt with it. And niggas will befriend you so they can use you. And it does make you, and you be like, man, what the fuck, man? So I get it. That's why Terry Crews was like, I don't see no racism at the job, because he probably felt like they don't treat me like that. And I get it. But if your sister is saying that out loud, then you have to just don't say nothing at all. Or be like, you know what? If Gabrielle Union said that there was racism at the job, then I believe there was racism, because what does she need to lie about? Because she had your back when that Jewish motherfucker grabbed your dick and balls in front of your bitch. But you cooned and samboed up. I'm telling you, look, just like basketball, same thing. These niggas are high-priced slaves. These niggas, like, stop thinking that because these people on TV that they have flexibility to say what they want. No, they have no flexibility. Whatever they say is being given to them by the dominant society. So they have no opinion. That's why Kareem Abdul-Jabbar gonna go at Q. And I'm like, damn, man. You know, it's like, God, wow, like what has this world come to where you're watching black people being lynched on fucking camera, but you're still not gonna say nothing and come to your brother's aid? Nobody. Everybody's like, oh, that's anti-Semitic. Fucking D Wade is the biggest sandball, I'm sorry, on the planet. Oh, I stand with Nick Cannon. Oh, after looking at that, I do not. It's like, God damn, it's so. Well, I already knew that about Dwayne Wade when he was sitting up there, you know, like propping his son up and making it like where it was okay for young black boys to wake up one morning and be like, oh, I'm a bitch now. I'm not no man. And that's not okay, because everybody's belief system is not the same, Dwayne Wade. And you're parading him around. And me personally, I don't think that's cool. But we're in such a society that you can't even say nothing. And it's like, man, what? Come on. But when you're paid by the dominant society and you want to be liked and you want to be relevant, you want to be on TV, you're going to do that. And that's fine. That's fine. So I didn't expect him to have motherfucking Nick Cannon's back. None of these niggas are going to have his back. That's why everybody that's had Nick Cannon's back is the real voices, the real people that's on the street. The regular niggas like me, the regular niggas that got to get up and go to work every day, that watch Wild 'N Out. Those are the motherfuckers that's disappointed. Black celebrity is like, oh, well, I can't touch that shit. That's why ain't nobody came out and said shit for him. Now you got a nigga explain and get your publicist to come out there and apologize. It's like, it's almost like watching George Floyd die slow all over again. That's why I'm like, you would have just been, in my personal opinion, he should have never had Professor Griff on there if you was going to do that. And everybody thought it was going to be the Tariq Nasheed episode that was going to cause a whole bunch of stuff. But see, here's the thing about Tariq Nasheed. Tariq Nasheed keeps it on anti-black racism and racism white supremacy. Professor Griff will call out specific groups within anti-black racism and white supremacy. And that's where the problem lies. And they know that. And the white Jewish community knows who Professor Griff is. I just don't think that Nick Cannon understood the severity of the situation. But, hey, I don't know how he conduct his business. I don't know if, I would have hoped that he owned that lock, stock, and barrel, so he could have just been like, all right, then fuck y'all then I'll go somewhere else. But the fucking Wild 'N Out brand is mine. I own that. So I don't know. Yet is to remain what the fuck is going on, but I can't tell you this. I was disappointed at first, but after a while, just kind of like, wow. Warren, you right. Don't put your trust and faith and hope in black celebrity because they are paid by the same system you pay by. So their governor is your governor. It's just their governor is allowing them to have more flexibility than you. But it's the same thing. It's a high-priced slave. And I give him props because he's studying, he's doing his thing, and he's helping black folk. And I like that in Nick Cannon, that he's helping black folk and he's really want black people to wake up and understand what's going on. And I get that. I get it. But you cannot have a podcast where you're becoming socially conscious, not have the books to back up what you're saying. And after it comes out, you should have been like, how y'all gonna fire me? And I posted this, and this. You know, I posted this because of these books that I read. These are the books that I read. Not that it would have made any difference, but in the court of public opinion, it would have. Because the court of public opinion would have been like, well, he's only discussing what he read. But I digress. I'm not Nick. I'm just telling y'all, remember this. At the corporate plantation, which he is on as well, because Viacom is a corporate plantation, it is no different from the job that you work at. Viacom is a corporation that's there to make money. And if you're making them money, but you say something that they don't like, they could sever ties with you and keep it moving. I seen a fucking meme on Instagram. They had Ryan Seacrest as a new host of fucking Wild 'N Out. Nigga, I was laughing my ass off. And they'll do some shit like that. That's a fact. In a minute, in a heartbeat, replace you like you don't even exist. And my thing is, they don't want you to know the history. And I don't go around trying to pick fight with white Jewish people because I was in a fucking beat making crew with a white Jewish dude. But I'm sorry. That's where we would probably disagree. And if he took it a certain way, then you just going to take it a certain way, and then we just can't be friends then. Because I find it interesting, but I don't find it soothing that the white dominant society has benefited greatly from black labor. Can't you tell? You got Sumner Redstone, Donald Sterling, got all these white Jewish people that have amassed this large amount of money of wealth, and you like, if we trace the lineage, it has to come from slavery. Where else did it come from? It has to. We just got to know history, and we got to stop choosing to believe wholeheartedly in black celebrityism. After this shit with our brother Nick, I'm not believing in no black celebrity for nothing. I just don't. Because a lot of times they're paid by the dominant society and they're beholden to them. And I think we're more disappointed because we thought things would be different. But as clearly we've seen, no, it's not. They own it. And they can tell you what the fuck to do because it's their shit. And you got to understand that. I think black folks, it's just so hard for us because we want somebody to just speak up for us so bad. But you know what? Speak up for yourself. Stop putting your trust and faith and hope in black celebrity. After him walking back those statements and apologizing, that should tell y'all the same thing Deshaun Jackson did. Oh, I apologize to the Jews. That should tell every black person, why is everybody apologizing to them? Let me go read and see what the fuck anti-Semitic means. Like I said, go get you a motherfucking go get your etymology dictionary and look up the word Semitic. And it's gonna give you all kinds of terms of what it really means. It don't just mean white, Caucasian, Jewish people. That's not what it means. They just don't want people to know history. They want it to be known as his story. That's what it is to them. That's why they have taken everything that black folks have done, co-opted it, gave us Cesare Borgia, and then they around here studying voodoo and all this other shit. It's like, wait, hold on. And fucking the Bohemian Grove and just all this other shit, that esoteric knowledge that they got from black folk, and they want to be it so bad. That's why they didn't like that. He was like, well, we're the Semitic people. Why would they want him? Because Nick Cannon has a following. Nick Cannon has people that really follow behind him. So why would the white Jewish community want him? Think about it from that perspective too. Why would they want him saying that? Especially if you're not showing books where you're getting this shit from. You just up there running your mouth. They had every right to be like, well, sorry, we own this shit and you're fired. Now, if he owned it lock, stock, and barrel and it was his shit, then they would be fucked. And there would be nothing they could say to him because he would be like, I own this shit. This is my shit. You can't say nothing to me. Oh, I'm fired? Fuck y'all then. This is a business partnership. So you want to advertise? No problem. And then I put out my own statement. First of all, we had a partnership. They did not fire me. They severed ties business-wise with me. So y'all can take it as fire, but I own MTV lock, stock, and barrel, and we will be taking our talents to Revolt TV. That would have been the most gangster shit ever. But I'm at this point, I don't have any faith, any hope in it anymore. I just want everybody to understand, stop putting your trust, faith, and hope in black celebrities. Because they're going to disappoint you every time. The only black celebrity you need to put your faith, hope, and trust in is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Like a dude on Twitter was like, yeah, man, I don't agree with nothing you say about Minister Louis Farrakhan. You know, he's a liar now. I said, well, what did he lie about? Tell me what he lied about. I said, and what book do you have that's saying that he lied? See, he didn't expect me to say that. He expected me to be like, yeah, you know, no. I said, because I've read the books of the teachers of the Nation of Islam. I've read The Fall of America by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I read How to Eat to Live by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So what are they saying that's bullshit? Tell me. I said, and give me some books so I can go read them. I said, because to this day, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is the only person I've ever seen speak out against the dominant white society and the dominant white Jewish community. He's spoken out against them. He's put it out there. He's put it out there about the Rothschilds. Go look it up. Go look up the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Rothschilds, unless they done took it off. Oh, Clifton Leon's study way. Pneumonia revival pagan. That's a fact. My thing is this. You don't have to agree with the Nation of Islam's religious beliefs. Because I'm not a part of the Nation of Islam, but I listen to what a motherfucker say about the dominant society. And when you hear them speaking on the dominant society, they're speaking facts. I went to go read the books, and then I went and cross-referenced it. I didn't just go read the secret relationship between Jews and blacks. I read Black Labor White Wealth, which Dr. Claude Anderson talks about in Powernomics and Black Labor White Wealth. Out of the Jewish community, they've benefited greatly off of slavery as well. So it isn't just the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam that's talking shit about a specific racial group. So if that's the case, I guess anybody that mentions it, I guess they bad. Research is key, brother. You right. Hey, man, let me tell you something. That's why I'm going to tell you this right now. Nah, homie. Black Labor Right Wealth all day, homie. Dr. Claude Anderson. Nah, homie. The Secret Relationship Between Jews and Black. And that's just the books that I got on this table right here. Sorry, homie. Nah. There's too much shit that doesn't happen to us. These are books that I read. I only show books that I've read. If I ain't read it, I'm not going to show it. You go look at any of my podcasts, I'm only showing books that I read. No, homie. Etymology dictionary? Sorry. I got the actual etymology dictionary to look up these words. That's why nigga does not mean ignorant, all this bullshit that they gave you the fucking narrative. See, the dominant society gave you that narrative. Oh, nigga is bad and all this other. Go. Nigga means God. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? And hey, I'll tell you this. Clifton Leon Subway Paranoid Pneumonia Revival. I'll tell you this, bro. And I'm gonna keep it a fact. I don't claim to know shit. That's why the podcast is called No I Don't Know, my nigga. Cause I'm not up here like, oh, I know this. No. But I can tell you about the books that I read, and the books that I read and cross-reference them. That's why when I was talking to this dude on Twitter, after that, he was like, because I said, I'm not trying to change your belief system, bro. But I am not going to denounce the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan because people don't like him. They don't like him because have you really listened to his speech? See, I'll tell you this and I'll say it again. I've been listening to Farrakhan for 10 years. 10 years. And what I mean by this is, I've had Sprint. You're like, why are you talking about Sprint? Sprint, back in the day, was the only ones that had unlimited data. YouTube came out 2007, 2008, 9-ish. So at the end of 2009, I started listening to Farrakhan a lot. At the end of 2009, listen to his speeches and all that. And then from 2010 to now, that's all. Every day. I could tell you about his speeches. Add it up. In like 89, he got on an all-white suit. I think it's in Florida. And he was talking to Ronald Reagan. Then when he was at the Madison Square Garden, he was sending a message to them. I listened to hella speeches. I listened to speeches where he was in a little fucking town hall. And what I did was, over the years, when I started coming into the knowledge of reading, which has only been about 7 years of reading, I started cross-referencing what he was saying. Like, well, let me go look up these books to see if he just running his mouth or whatever. That's when I came across the Protocols to the Elders of Zion. I came across the International Jew. I came across Benjamin Friedman. You can look these people up. This is facts. I got the secret relationship between Jews and blacks. I said, oh, I want to read it myself. Then as I'm reading it and I'm Googling some of the shit and some of the authors that he's saying, I'm like, damn, he's not lying about this shit. Then look up the fucking Federal Reserve and see who owns it. And see if it's ran by the government or it's ran by private bankers. Go do this or go read it for yourself. But niggas be talking shit about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Just, you know why? Because he's going to offend your dominant society friends. That's why. And you don't want to lose those friends, so you just jump on the bandwagon of, oh, he speak hate. Man, get the fuck out of here, nigga. That's why I be like, man, nah, sorry, homie. And I've worked on the corporate plantation where people like, damn, you always be listening to him. And they like, hey, I'm gonna listen. Go ahead, listen to him. I never tell, hey man, you should listen to this. I don't tell people shit. Listen to who the fuck you want to listen to. But I'm gonna listen to him. Christianity is a brainwash. They took everything from Kemet and whitewashed it. Say it again, brother. Say it again. Say it again. That's a fact. And look, how you just said that. They took everything from ancient Kemet. They did. Most people don't even know. Egypt is Kemet. Chemistry, Kemet, come on, man. But the dominant society is so good at taking something so poignant and so important, remixing it and give you something else. Thank you. Jesus studied ancient Kemet. Now, I'll say this. If Jesus is real and we going by the Bible, then he's got to be black. How could Jesus be white, but the Bible describes him as burnt brass, hair like lamb's wool? That's my hair right here, homie. That's not a perm press, Pau Gasol, Kurt Rambis, motherfucking Just For Me kit that he got on his head. What the fuck is that? No, that's fucking Cesare Borgia, the fucking Spaniard. But don't nobody know that shit. You know why? Because we don't go do no fucking reading. I put my fucking Borgia's book up, but I just got done reading the Borgia's probably about a couple weeks ago. And let me tell you something. They were the most crooked, vile motherfuckers in history as well. That's why right now I'm reading about the Medici, the Italian banking family who started usury, basically fractional reserve banking, loaning out money with interest, which was against the Christianity code. But they was doing it anyway. And then they was fucking Moorish slaves and shit. And now I'm reading the book about Alessandro de Medici, the mulatto, that they don't talk about. See, this is the shit that we gotta be into, man. We gotta go look up this shit, because they not gonna tell you none of this shit, man. He was an average human being, just in like facts. Look, like I said, man, I grew up in church. My family, man, we grew up in that shit. So how do you think it felt when I'm like, okay, well, the Bible says this, but the picture on the wall looked like, and at the time there was no Pau Gasol, but the picture on the wall reminded me of Kurt Rambis. It's just he didn't have glasses. And I'm like, whoa, how does that work? Then it's like, you know, you hear all the things about how hot Africa is. And I'm like, okay, as I get older, well, if Africa's hot as fuck, and white people use sunscreen like it's no tomorrow, how the fuck was niggas surviving out there with no sunscreen? They had no sunscreen 5,000 years ago. I'm like, man, this shit don't make sense. But I get it. And you know why? Because to tell history is his story. Loan $10, bank, get 100. That's a fact. That's what fractional reserve banking is, homie. Oh, my nigga, I know. Hey, let me tell you something, man. And I forgot what book it's in. I think it's in the end of this book. But the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan talks about, they got this book that he was promoting. And I'm going to get that book, Defending Farrakhan, book 2, The Campaign to Free the Real Children of Israel. But it's defending, oh God, what? I don't know if it's in this book. But he had a book, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, in one of his lectures, I watched it on YouTube, and he had this book, and he was telling everybody to go get it. It's 2. It's Dare Not Call It a Conspiracy. That's 1. And it's a book about fractional reserve banking. It's like 800 pages. And it talks about the Federal Reserve and all that shit. And he breaks it down. And you can't find, look, first of all, you can't even, look, if The Secret Relationship Between Jews and Blacks was not a real book, in my personal opinion, and it's not factual, then why can't you not get it on Amazon anymore? You can't get The Secret Relationship Between Jews and Blacks on Amazon. If I'm not mistaken, you can't get it no more. I'm about to look it up right now. But if I'm not mistaken, you can't get that on Amazon no more. And I'm about to look it up right now. Let's see. If I'm not mistaken. Let's look it up. The Secret Relationship. Let's see. Yeah, they got somebody on here that wrote The Minister of Lies, The Truth Behind the Nation of Islam, The Secret Relationship Between Jews and Blacks. So they had somebody, yep, they took it off. You can't get this book no more. You can't get it. You can't get it on Amazon no more. You would have to buy it from the Nation of Islam. That's okay, because I just get it from them. I'll get part 2. Reading part 1 was heavy enough for me. I always wonder how in the Bible they skip from Jesus' birth to when he was an adult. What happened in between? Exactly. First of all, the Bible. If we're going to go by the Bible, the King James Version, the Bible was written by the Council of Nicaea, and it was a group of people, William Shakespeare, a group of people put in to rewrite that Bible. And then they took out certain books I forgot. Oh God, like the ancient Egyptian Book of the Dead, that's not in the Bible. Then you have the Dead Sea Scrolls, that's not in the Bible. They took so many things out and put things in, and then let me highlight the things that Jesus said. But if this was 5,000 years ago, how do you know he said it? And how do you know what the fuck they look like? And how do y'all know? Now, how does this shit take place in Africa, but everybody look European? I'll break it down to you like this, my nigga. How is it that the St. Jesus story is just like geometry? Let's break down geometry real fast. Now, how are you gonna praise Pythagoras, the great mathematician, but he studied in Africa, ancient Kemet, Egypt, in Africa, for 22 fucking years? But you're gonna say he came up with the Pythagorean theorem? No, he did not come up with the Pythagorean theorem. He's not the author of no math. But we praise Pythagoras, oh, the great Pythagoras, when really, how could he come up with a right triangle and all these things when clearly the pyramids are in fucking Kemet, not in Europe? You go all over Europe, ain't no fucking pyramids in Europe. No obelisk in Europe, but they in Kemet. So how did he come up with math? And when the motherfucker was like, well, yeah, man, because he was over there studying. I said, he had secretly studying because Alexander the Greek, not the Great, or the Great, whatever you want to call him, he outlawed studying the sciences, the liberal arts, the math, sciences, the astrology, the astronomy. He banned that. If you studied that, you would be jailed. And that's why Aristotle, Socrates, Plato, motherfucking Pythagoras, and all those Hermes Trismegistus, the nigga that wrote the Kabbalion, those niggas was all sneaking over to ancient Kemet to learn from the ancient fucking enlightened ones. Exactly. Hey, what's going on, Tommy? I see you. The gospel was written hundreds after Jesus. That's a fact. The great liar. Exactly. And what happened was when motherfucker, there's a book called Stolen Legacy. Go read that book. And what happened was Alexander the Greek wanted to raid ancient Kemet, and when he raided them, he raided the library of Alexander, and then they kept the books. And and when they kept the books, I know what he did. He told Pythagoras and Aristotle and all these other motherfuckers, okay, now this is your knowledge. Now they'll be talking about you for centuries, because the enlightened ones, the ancient Kemetans, they wanted to keep the knowledge esoteric. They didn't want it to be out there like that. You had to be enlightened to come into that knowledge. So what they did was they took the knowledge and stamped Aristotle and Socrates' name on it, and then they remixed it and gave it to us hundreds of years later, and now we up there praising the great Aristotle and Plato and Socrates, when really these niggas was studying black folk the whole fucking time. Like US did Baghdad. Yeah, that's a fact, bro. That's a fact. That's why motherfuckers don't get it, man. I'm telling you, hey, Tommy, I gotta check my email too, man. Hey, I'm about to get I need to get 100 years of lynching. That's one of the next books I want to get. Right now, I'm reading about Alessandro de Medici. You know what I'm saying? So right now, I'm reading that book, and that's a good book too. Oh, it breaks it down how Lorenzo El Magnifico. And see, people don't even know where El Magnifico come from. That come from Lorenzo de Medici, the Italian. And don't get me started on these Italians. They don't want to give niggas no credit. We need to wake up. That's why, I loved it. I'll be like, I told the Italian once, I said, well, we're responsible for all your education. That's why the majority of the Italians on the East Coast are masonry, bricklayers, carpenters, because of the Moors. That's why. Y'all didn't think y'all came up with that on your own. No, y'all did not. Look it up. It's Googleable facts. And that's this Italian brother. He looked it up. And he's like, wow, that's interesting. I didn't know it. I said, exactly. Because your parents are going to make it seem like, we came here with $1 in our pocket and we worked hard. Yeah, off black labor. Any other racial group that's here are here for unearned benefits. And what they're doing is they come here, they get around the dominant white society, and they talk shit about niggas. That's what they do. So that's why it's very imperative and very important for all of us be on code and understand, know your history, know a little bit. I don't know nothing. No, I don't know. That's why that's what the fucking podcast is called. But I do my research and I read. Take your book to work. Read it on your break. Read it every 10 to 15 minutes. If you could just do that, you'll be fine. But I'll tell you right now, don't be one of those type of motherfuckers that just believe what they, oh, well, man, he said anti-Semitic shit, so apparently he must have said it. No, he didn't. You notice they didn't point out specifically what he said. They just showing you video. But what did he say specifically about the Jewish white community? Now, I know Jesse Jackson said some racial shit about the Jewish white community. And y'all and y'all need to go pull up that I'm gonna see if I can find the clip on Farrakhan when he was talking about Al Sharpton, not Al Sharpton, but Jesse Jackson. When Jesse Jackson kept apologizing for saying something, I guess he said Jaime or something. It was very derogatory and anti-Semitic towards the Jewish community. He shouldn't have said that shit, but he said it. He got busted saying the shit, so they kept making him apologize. But Farrakhan was like, all right, man, how many times you gonna apologize? Now you done apologize, now how many times you gonna say this shit? Yep. Let me see, man. Mr. Lewis. Let me see, Lewis. I'm gonna try to look it up, y'all. About let's see. I'm gonna try to look it up and see if I can find it. I'm gonna see if I can find it. They probably don't have it. Who heard Reverend Jesse Jackson? Hold on. Yeah, nah, I can't find it. But it's a cold ass, I'm telling you. And Farrakhan was like, okay, well, how many times you gonna apologize? Like, damn, how many times you gonna say sorry? Now, you done said sorry, though. How many times you gonna say it? How non-Jews offended, though? Man, let me tell you something. Like I said, I was in a production crew with a white Jewish brother and was real into hip-hop and all that. Now, I was not enlightened then. Wasn't reading then. I was just making music. So I didn't understand about any of that stuff. I was one of those type of people, I just wanted to make music. So I wasn't informed. But if I was around that white Jewish brother, I would tell him. The Jewish community, white Jewish community, has benefited greatly from slavery. Black labor equals white wealth. And I would refer him to this book right here. That's a fact. Exactly, the way they made Tamika Mallory. Exactly. Yup. Wasn't that the sister that I guess was back in Farrakhan, and then they was like, you need to denounce him or some other shit? I'm forgetting who she was, but I remember she's like an activist, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm just saying, and look, and let's not forget, the white Jews tried to make Tamika denounce the minister. Yes, they did. That's her. And she was like, why y'all making me? And I'm like, man, just like y'all gotta remember too, Nick Cannon was at when the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan did that speech on 4th of July, which was very, very great. It was a lot of celebrities at that fucking garden with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and Nick Cannon was one of them. So to have Professor Griff on there, which they can't stand Professor Griff, and then you taking pictures with Nick, I just thought Nick was more prepared for that. That's all. Like, I would have seen him, okay, I apologize to the Jewish community if I offended y'all, but these are the books that I got. You're more than welcome to come on my podcast and we can talk about it. You know what I mean? But y'all just don't notice that community in particular, they run Hollywood. They run basketball. Y'all don't see nothing wrong with it. They're the agents. They're the bankers. There's everything. And nobody sees anything wrong with it. And you dare to speak up on it at all. Don't you dare mention a Rothschild. That's why they was so mad at Jay Electronica. That's why the white Jewish person, I forgot his name, that's on 97.5, and he was like, oh, I'm pissed off, and that's why Jay Electronica was like, nigga, fuck you, basically. Shut the fuck up. Oh, I don't know how I feel right now. Well, first of all, you're a guest in hip-hop, so you shouldn't have nothing to say anyway. Exactly. Well, they're not going to talk about the drama we taking because niggas just supposed to take it. Remember that. When you black, you supposed to just take the drama. You ain't supposed to say shit else. We just supposed to keep taking the licking and keep on ticking. And that's why you're going to see a lot of black folk. You notice ain't nobody came to the aid of motherfucking Nick Cannon. No black celebrity. Nobody. Everybody just kind of like a lot of people are in disbelief. That's why people are like, damn, I can't believe you apologizing. Well, believe it. When you're in business with these people, Sumner Redstone is a big-time billionaire Jew. Why do you think that he is going to allow you and his family? Nah, Black Commerce ran by them. So what you got to do is you take your talent somewhere else and be like, you know what? But I get it. Everybody has their own struggle and their own thing. So I don't know what's going on in Brother Nick's head. I hope he has a different play, that he'll come out victorious. But man, it's sending the wrong message, and a lot of, in my opinion, it sometimes sending the wrong message to young black folks that don't speak up for your people. Don't speak up for what has been done to us in slavery, because they'll slap you down. And you just call everybody else to the floor, but don't call them. That should tell black people something. But why we can't call them to the floor? Hell, the U.S. government is getting loans from these centralized private banks. Exactly. That's a whole other topic. You're born into that, and they know that, and that's why your birth certificate's got bank stamps. And that's why Mary M. Shell Rothschild sent 5 sons into Europe to study the banks. He sent them to Austria. He sent them to Germany. He sent them to everywhere where there was a central bank. He sent them. And then once they learn the banking system, what else do you think gonna happen? You gotta admire how smart they were, but is it beneficial for us as a people? No, especially when your wealth is built off the backs of black people. So no, that's not particularly something that black folks should be happy about, but ain't nobody gonna say shit about it. But Ice Cube's the only motherfucker that called these motherfuckers out. Everybody else, nobody back Cube, nobody back Nick Cannon at all. So with that being said, we gotta start reading. Wake up. Read, like I said, you better read Black Labor White Wealth. Go read Powernomics and stop expecting somebody to give it to you and spoon feed it to you. If I would have read the Medici money, I would have never even learned about motherfucking Alessandro de Medici, because what Amazon does is they find your algorithm and then they start sending you shit. They send me this shit. I'm like, damn. That's how I got this book called the Prince of Darkness, the untold story of Jeremiah Hamilton. I read that book like 3 or 4 years ago. Very, very good book. He was running game on their asses on Wall Street. He's the first black millionaire on Wall Street in the antebellum period. He was married to a white woman. He had a whole bunch of mulatto kids. That nigga, I tell you one thing about his dominant society, Caucasian significant other, a white wife. That bitch wasn't folding and throwing him under the bus and letting him get all fucked up. That bitch was right or die right with that nigga, and was telling him how to, and helping him how to run game. That's why I'm like, man, oh, it's a cold book. Man, he was running so much game on their ass. They tried to lynch him. Yup. These black celebrities scared, but are they not already rich? So what they afraid of? Good question. Hey, keep asking me those questions. And that's a fact. I'm going to just give you my perspective. I can't speak for nobody else. I'm going to tell you what it is. A lot of these black celebrities have not saved their money, and they are living a lifestyle at what the dominant society is paying a black celebrity. That's why Jussie Smollett tried to fake an anti-black racist attack on him so he could build up his status, so he could demand more money from Lee Daniels' moist ass in Empire. That was all a setup by Jussie Moistet. That was all, I'm telling you, because these people, you gotta think, a lot of these people are dope fiends. A lot of these people got lifestyles that they have to maintain an imagery to other people. They don't want to be seen as a nigga on TV but broke, so they want to be seen as the motherfucker that got it. Everybody's not, it's not like old boy Elvin from the Cosby Show who was working at Trader Joe's. He didn't give a fuck. He was like, well, nigga, I'm an actor and I'm broke. So I gotta go work at Trader Joe's. That was about the realest nigga you gonna ever see. Most niggas are running high. They don't want niggas to see that they broke because imagery is everything to black folk for the most part. So I will look like $1 million, but don't got a quarter in my pocket. Kanye West, exactly. Sounds plausible, brother. And that's why. And that's why most black folk, in my personal opinion, it's the imagery that you got to keep up. And perception is people's reality. So if I can go on Instagram and stand in front of somebody's house and in front of a car and take a picture and post it and say, truly blessed. Do you know how many people in my family? I'm not talking about my immediate family. I'm not talking about the people that really know me, but most distant relatives, they'll be like, damn, this nigga Warren doing it. He balling. Y'all see this nigga house? As a matter of fact, I should do that one day. I should do that shit. Just to see and take a screenshot and then put it on YouTube so people can see. You know how many motherfuckers that be hitting me up like, damn, this nigga Warren balling. I should do that one day. Because that's what niggas do anyway. And under the guise in caption, blessed. Stop. Exactly. And that's why Redman was like, oh, y'all want to do MTV Cribs? Well, nigga, y'all finna come to my real crib. Nigga, and that's how you supposed to do it. Nigga, you ain't supposed to be fronting and acting like, but we have been trained that way. You know why? Because the dominant society, you gotta understand. If you work in a regular 9-to-5 job at the Gore Plantation, you make your 50, 60 a year, 40 a year, 30 a year, and then let's say you hit the big break, and then now a major corporation, a major TV corporation want to pay you $50,000 for one WAP or $20,000 for one whoop WAP, that'll blow your mind if you're not ready for it. Most niggas got insurance on their cell phones but don't have life insurance. And then they die, and then guess what happens? Now you stuck trying to pay to bury these motherfuckers. And that's what happens. Why the dominant white society or dominant white Jewish society, where do you think their wealth is tied up in? It's tied up in stocks, bonds, money market accounts, CDs, mutual funds. That's where it's tied up. And they tell you to go buy the nigga shit, the Jordans, the clothes, the shoes, right? And then guess what they doing? They buying stocks and fucking bonds. I know because that same Jewish motherfucker that I was in, the same Jewish brother that was in that beat crew that I was in, guess what his parents was buying? Stocks and bonds. And I didn't know, and I was just like, why they do that? He was like, oh, because, and then when the fucking economy tanked, because of 9/11, man, my white Jewish homeboy, his dad would sit on the couch watching fucking TV every day when I went over there to make beats. That nigga wasn't worried about going to work. He didn't care. He just selling savings bond. That's the first time I ever heard somebody that wasn't in school talk about savings bonds and stock. Do it so I can say it about you. Yup. I say it's pride. It's always pride. That's all. But see, let me tell you something. Pride is flexible with us because we'll have pride on certain things, but when it comes to having pride for money, that shit goes out the window because everybody has a price. So there's very few people that won't settle for less. Certain people will be like, well, I'm gonna just go and apologize so I can keep this bread and keep paying people. And a lot of people will make excuses and be like, well, I got other people you gotta understand that. That's why people won't come out and say shit against the dominant white society a lot of times. Terry Crews went on TV and was like, I don't see no racism. I don't see no racism. And I don't particularly feel bad for Gabrielle Union because I feel like in the black community, the dominant society will always infringe on our belief system and push their views on what we view. Look at Bruce Jenner. They got it where you can't even call him Bruce. And then all these people around is going along with the shit. Nigga, I'll be like, nigga, fuck you. Your name is Bruce and you was a man with dick and balls. Stop playing games, nigga. Stop that shit. And it ain't good for young black boys to see that they can just wake up one day and be a bitch. Come on, man. Okay, if that's something natural, fine, I get it. But for you to just think, that's why I was looking at Dwayne Wade like, man, nigga, what is you doing? And I just left it alone because I was like, you know what, man? These niggas will do anything for a check. And you gotta remember that. Yeah, Lil Wayne said that shit too, that he never experienced racism. Okay, Lil Wayne, well then talk some shit about the anti-black racism and we'll see how long you'll be rapping. Stop. As this nigga talking about he fucked this bitch and fuck that bitch and I fucked your bitch and all this other shit. Then a nigga on TV looking stupid because this nigga Birdman ain't paying him and now you mad because you talking about they owe you $60 million. Nigga, see? Because this is what they do. They give you nigga shit. Bitches, hoes, cars, clothes, shoes. And then what they do is they sit back and just let you self-destruct. And then they take joy and pride and pleasure in giving you those vices so you can self-destruct. And then they like, I got you. Now, you can't, what you gonna say? And you may not self-destruct. They might just give you enough money where you can never say no to them. Oh yeah, you can study your knowledge and read your shit, but you're not gonna say anything about the Jewish community, okay? And you like, oh, okay, yeah, no problem. Yeah, he ain't get no more kisses from baby, exactly. And niggas understand, nigga, we're the entertainment. That's why I tell people, man, look, if y'all want to know the history, go watch the movie Hoodlum with Cicely Tyson and Lawrence Fishburne. Dutch Schultz. This is documented history how Dutch Schultz treated black people. They didn't make that shit up. Nigga pennies, my pennies, all my fucking money. Like as if the white Jewish community was so nice to black folk back in the day. Stop it, you were not. And neither were the Italians, either. So we gotta understand what it is, man. And stop going along with the okie doke. All right, man, I apologize. That's all I'm like, damn, Nick. And then you gotta denounce Professor Griff. And if I was Professor Griff on my podcast, I'd be like, well, I don't know what the fuck Nick talking about, but I wasn't lying about shit. Here go the books and y'all go read them for yourself. That's real. I'm like, God damn, but I guess, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got love and respect for Nick Cannon, but I feel like now's the time for us black folk to step back and say, okay, we gotta stop looking at celebrity like they're gonna save us. Only we can save us. Let me see. He had to experience racism because they are racist out here. Thank you. I'm about to say, how you gonna make it seem like New Orleans ain't racist? Man, stop that shit, Lil Wayne. And talking about the white cop that saved him when he shot himself. Nigga, he's a police officer. He's supposed to protect and serve. He was doing his job. Stop making it seem like it was just some white man that just happened to break in the house. No, nigga. He was a police officer that was doing his job. But we get so enamored by anybody that looks like the dominant society that just like I want y'all to go watch the podcast with T.I. Expeditiously and Jane Elliott. Jane Elliott had the prime focus of why you thank me for something I should be doing. But what ends up happening is we get so enamored by what they do because we want attention from them so bad, we bask in that. We bask in the glory of them giving us attention. Don't Nick Cannon come from a wealthy family? No, I don't think he comes from a wealthy family, but I think he comes from a family that's, I would say, rooted and grounded in San Diego roots. And, you know, I would say that Nick Cannon is not nobody to be fucked with. I would say that niggas ain't just gonna run up on Nick Cannon. You know what I'm saying? I say that his family roots go very, very far back in the San Diego community. So he's not somebody, like streetwise, he ain't somebody you will fuck with. You know what I'm saying? But I'll also say this. If he came from a wealthy family, maybe he would have been like, well, I'm not apologizing. But you gotta understand too, a lot of these people have friends that are Jewish and they don't want to friend their friends, and I get it. I get that side of it. But those are conversations you need to have with your friends and family outside of that. And be like, look, we need to have this dialogue now because this is how I'm feeling about it and this is what I read. And if they're like, well, well, tell me how. Give me the books that tell me how and I'll read them. But other than that, you just saying that because somebody told you that. No. That's like a nigga just telling you, well, Jesus is white. Well, how do you know that? Well, because they said it. Well, where did they say that? And then a nigga bring you the Bible and be like, nigga, he's lying. Nigga, it saved feet like burnt brass. Burnt brass is our color. And hair like mine. So that's contradicting views. So you gotta nip that shit in the bud. Instead of just going along with the okie doke because some white person said it. That's why I'm not believing no shit that fucking King James said about the Bible. Man, nigga, stop. But hey, man, hey, I've been on here for a minute. Hey, man, don't get me started. Hey, like I said, man, do your research, read the books for yourself. I got the email, nowayoutlv@gmail.com. Hey, email me some books that you think I need to read. Tommy should always be emailing me, so keep emailing me, man. On the books, hey, shout out to Clifton, Leon, Subway. I don't know if I'm saying your name, Pneumonia or Noma. I can't. Hey, I read books, but nigga, I can't pronounce that shit. Noma Revival. I'm just gonna call you Clifton Leon Study Way. But shout out to you, brother, man. Hey, like I said right now, this podcast is not about cloud chasing. If you think I'm a cloud chaser, you on the wrong shit, man. I don't cloud chase shit. I ain't trying to get niggas on here, get likes and all that, man. Fuck all that shit. Tommy, she already know. They done took down and flagged my post so many times. So I'm not on here to cloud chase. But like I said, man, if you got some knowledge, you got some shit, email me or leave shit in the comments and I'll go find the book and read it myself. I appreciate everybody listening, subscribing, nigga. If you're out there on some, I'm sorry, ain't no anti-black racism, guilty, nigga. I can't fuck with that shit, nigga. I'm out. Peace.
Cigarette.